Before we begin, we have to answer the question, what is abstraction? Well, the definition of abstraction is the act of removing elements of specificity from a diagram to emphasize commonality. But what does that really mean? Well, it's probably easier to explain with an example. Imagine you have a car. The car has a lot of attributes, such as engine type, the number of miles it's traveled, the age of the car, and even the paint color of the car. Now let's say you're describing your car to a friend. You wouldn't tell him about the engine type or the number of miles it traveled, because that wouldn't be helpful to helping him find the car. You'd tell him about the paint color. On the other hand, if you were describing your car to a mechanic, he wouldn't care about the paint color. He'd want to know about the engine type, the number of miles it traveled, and even the age of the car. So, from this scenario, we can see that in real life, depending on the scenario, we describe the same object in different ways. This is abstraction. In everyday life, we use abstraction. So, what is abstraction? Well, it's the process of describing things using only the important details for the task at hand. In a computer context, this involves only providing attributes and methods to an object that are useful for the task at hand. In the practice questions, you will practice this process yourself. You will have to write attributes and methods to describe real-world objects depending on the task at hand. If you get stuck, have a look at the example answers we've provided in the About section of the course webpage. Don't worry if your answers don't match up exactly with ours. Abstraction and design is a very subjective thing, so everyone's designs are a little bit unique. Finally, we will also be using UML diagrams in our answers. This is just a fast way of representing objects. We write the object name and then the attributes of the object underneath it in a separate docs, and finally we write the object methods. After each object method name or object attribute name, we write the return type or the type of the object attribute. For example, the type of username is string. That's all.